People in England and Wales are being urged to download the coronavirus contact tracing app, which has finally been rolled out after months of delays. NHS COVID-19 is designed to tell you if you've been close to someone who tests positive, telling you to self-isolate. 2 police officers have been shot in the US state of Kentucky during fresh protests over the death of a black woman, Breonna Taylor. Demonstrations were sparked after authorities revealed no officers would face charges for their role in her shooting in March. And the weather, a mixture of sunshine and showers for many. Strong winds in the south will make it feel cooler. Fine for parts of Scotland, a high of 16 degrees.
This is LBC from Scotland's first free public...
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
The home of Henry VIII's first wife, the Lagard Roche, the first haute cuisine restaurant in London. The UK is full of memorable firsts. And
Continue on the Parkway for 1 mile.
Renault's opening the ideal first electric car, with an impressive range and over 11,000 UK charging locations. Be discovered of the destinations in the Renault Guide to Firsts. Look out for the guide in this Saturday's Guardian magazine.
At Morrison's, we imagine price comes from the things you buy before they come. Like fresh fruit and veg. Kilogram of British onions, 75p, now 65p. And a 6-pack of garlic apples was £1.60, now £1.80. These prices will be held low. Morrison's, making Christmas. Shutting stores up online subject to availability.
Help keep everyone secure by keeping track of your visitors with 360 ICT's Proximity Contact Tracing System. Proximity Contact Tracing is a tool for helping to manage COVID-19. Our tracing system uses your Wi-Fi infrastructure to track the movements of visitors and employees on your premises. It's precise and efficient, so learn more about 360 ICT's Proximity Contact Tracing System. For more information, visit 360ict.co.uk.
This year, I want to do less and more. Smoking attacks our lungs and makes it harder to breathe. Each cigarette fills our lungs with toxins that harm the immune system. This leaves us more vulnerable to infections. This year's been the wake-up call I needed. If you quit smoking for 28 days, you're up to 5 times more likely to quit for good. So for support to quit smoking and to download the free app, search Stoptober. And breathe. Better health. Let's do this.
Whoosh! Up then down, loop the loop, ending rather abruptly in a dot. Lucky you didn't add 2 kisses to the end. Making your mark in business takes more than just your signature on a contract. It takes paying attention to the details too, like choosing the right insurance. Superscript ensures you can have your business insurance just the way you want it, allowing you to decide the shortest things to come. Superscript, monthly business insurance, shopped around you. Make for free breakfast on LBC. Call 0345 60 60 973.
In 300 yards at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit and stay on the Parkway, A312.
Number of instances of cases since the pandemic began. I'll be sharing with you, by the way, that people looking at France, I'll be telling you how that has spiked, but would appear possibly to be levelling off now. That's lecture this out to. Let's get a lot of finance now for Actors Exchange Day with you. We're going to be talking a lot about and very more on Rishi Sunak and this latest bailout scheme, or possibly using the German model. Your views on that? Good morning.
Thank you, Nick. Yes, he's got his work cut out, I think, in the next couple of months. The furlough scheme, of course, 9.3 million people benefited. That goes without saying. There doesn't seem to be any qualification, as you said, Nick, one does fit terribly for the self-employed.
Yeah, 3 million of
I know, and I hope something sensible is going to be put into place on a specialised basis. Anyway, there seem to be several plans. First and foremost, this German wages situation, whereby the employer pays the staff while they're at work, and while they're not at work, the government pays 80% of their wages. How you weigh that up is going to be very, very difficult. But apparently it's worked very successfully in Germany.
And there's a similar thought of the health sorts in France.
Very much so. Very much
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway. Continue on A312 for 1.5 miles.
for the dole queue at the end of the year doesn't augur well.
All right, what else do we need to look at? JP Morgan.
JP Morgan, well, this is not the first time that Jamie Dunn, who's a highly respected CEO of JP Morgan, has threatened that he does not like Brexit. You will recall many years ago that when he spoke to George Osborne, he threatened to take 11,000 jobs away and take them from the United Kingdom. Well, now there's no question of any bluff. They've got 16,000 people working in the UK, JP Morgan. That's a lot. 12,000 of them working in London. And what they're going to do in order to so that they don't damage the prospect of doing euro-based business is they'll be moving 200 staff to Frankfurt. But it is also accompanied by $200 billion worth of assets, i.e. that's things like loans, various other things, in order that they can conduct their business. They're not the only people who've done this, because we've heard similar activity, but not in the same size, that UBS, Standard Chartered Bank, and Credit Suisse have done something similar.
Let's finish on one of the sectors that is thought will be addressed by the Chancellor today, the aviation sector. One thing where Ryanair, how are they faring, David?
Well, if you know what I mean, Michael, there is never badly done. And it causes great fun. I think that details the skiing season like that. And in the next 2 months, November and December, you reckon they've got a 10 to 10th business.
Show. Whether you like London or whether you loathe London, you have to accept that it is the financial powerhouse, London, the South East, that helps drive so much money through the rest of the country. So when the Evening Standard, which has been a feature of London for more than a century, says that our amazing city should be leading the response to COVID-19, not be a victim of it, where's the plan to save London, Prime Minister? It's worth listening. Emily Sheffield, as editor of the Evening Standard, joins me now. Okay, Emily, what do you think the Prime Minister should be doing specifically to help the city? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'm concerned, as indeed are you, and I know your colleagues, that not enough's being done to keep London afloat, which keeps the country afloat, really, Emily.
No, I mean, I think what we're hoping to hear later today will help enormously, especially in the hospitality sector, which we spoke to many restaurateurs yesterday who talked in the paper of devastation because they can't cope with the 10 p.m. Closing time. That may be good to suppress the virus, but you can't turn tables at 10 p.m. and they're already, most of them, speaking to people about insolvency. They don't even know if they're going to make it after Christmas. They've been given rent freezes, many of them, but again, you know, their landlords also probably beginning to get in financial trouble themselves are going to start calling those rents back in the new year. That's going to be devastating. I do think that the Prime Minister needs to come out and say, what is the plan for London? Because London, it should be remembered, provides 550 billion a year and is a quarter of the GDP of this country. So it doesn't mean that you have to leave all cities behind for the rest of the country, but that is the fact. I think one thing they need to do is deliver the arts funds now. That was agreed back in July. Do you know not a single arts company or theatre has received any of that money to date? Why is that taking so long? These companies are closing. The second point, he said everyone home again. Offices are only at 30% up. And most of them, like us,
In 300 yards, turn right onto Roslyn Avenue.
this huge street with what coming this weekend, people are behaving mostly incredibly well. You send everyone home for 6 months. That is devastating for London. That, working from home, will suck 1.7 billion from the central London economy in the fourth quarter of the year. That's according to the Centre for Economics Business Research. That's a fact. Previous experience tells us that a lot of money will not be spent in suburban residential shops because people are terrified of what's happening to the economy. And also, for tourists cannot return to London. Next summer, if this virus is under control...
Turn right onto Rosslyn Avenue, then turn left onto Harlington Road West.
Everything's boarded up. They just won't.
Emily, let me ask you this. In the past, your newspaper supported Boris Johnson to be Mayor of London, and I think it's probably fair to say that he was in tune with a lot of the readers of the Evening Standard. Where's that Boris gone, Emily?
I think he's doing Brexit.
Turn left onto Harlington Road West, then your destination will be on the right.